climate. Okay. These three cells around our planet. Hadley cells are these guys. They are 30 to 40 degrees from the equator, as shown here. Hadley cells were founded by George Hadley. These cells are closed circulation loops. The cell here is pretty cool. His name is Feral and his jokes are bad.
What is the name of this network again? ESPN?
No, ESPN.
That's a terrible name.
But feral cells are like the middle gear that people with the Hadley and polar cell would mention. They are located 60 to 70 degrees north and south. Cells are weak due to the weak source of heat. Last are the polar cells. They are simple systems with strong drivers. They extend from between 60 to 70 degrees north and south. Polar cells are thermal. So you may be wondering, how does this affect the sun? The sun is strongest at the equator, so the more direct the rays, the better the heat. The farther from the equator, the less heat from the sun. And the Earth is curved, so the rays curve. Finally, oh my god. I'm sorry, I messed it up. Finally, ocean moves as if it were a conveyor belt for wind. It moves warm air and precipitation from the equator toward the poles. Then it moves the cold water from the poles back to the tropics. Now we're going to Erica for Asheville's climate.
Thank you, Ben Denton, for explaining climate and how it is formed. Now, I will be showing you how to specifically apply how to find climate in a specific region. For example, today I'm going to be talking about Asheville's climate. It is important to remember that climate is looking at weather patterns long term, as in average precipitation, average temperature, and what you can expect from Asheville as a whole. So here we are in the beautiful city of Asheville, located in the Blue Ridge Mountains, full of life, color, and seasons. Because of the location of Asheville, we get a taste of every season, temperature, and weather pattern. The Feral Cell region, as talked about by Ben Denton, is where we are in the state of North Carolina. It is found between the Hadley Cell region and the Polar Cell region at around 30 to 60 degrees north. The Feral Cell region, which is found between the Hadley Cell region and the Polar Cell region at around 30 to 60 degrees north, moves air from the warm Hadley region to the polar region. These cell circulations cause high and low pressure systems to form. In Asheville specifically, we are found in a high pressure system, which accounts for its mild and fair weather patterns.
That's pretty neat!
Average annual precipitation here in Asheville is about 45.57 inches, which means we get a fair amount of rain and snow every year. To see the variety of temperatures in Asheville, I compared the average temperature of January to the average temperature of July. So in other words, I found that the range of temperatures here is 26.7 degrees Fahrenheit and 84 degrees Fahrenheit.
When I grow up, I'm going to be a computer analyst.
Mild summers and winters are typical here, as you can see, because it's actually February, but it feels like it's May. Crazy. Now, I went over a lot of information in a short amount of time, so if you want to remember how to find climates of a region without simply searching it on the internet, because who would want to do that? And who would want to be that lazy? Here's an acronym to help you remember climate. SOPLAC. Sun, ocean, atmosphere, pressure, averages, average temperature, average precipitation, latitude, and cell circulation. The Network News. Today we're going to be interviewing 3 special guests and asking them if they know anything about weather and climate. Jonah, can you tell me what the difference between weather and climate is?
Yes.
Climate is the elongated period of the weather, like over time. That's the climate of a region.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good job.
That's it?
For our next guest, we're going to be asking Elliot. Percussionist, can you stop for a second? Sorry.
Boom. Roasted.
Elliot, can you tell me what the difference between climate and weather is?
Funny that you should mention that. So climate is like, hold on. Can I think about it? Alright. Let's see. Climate is like the bigger picture of like the general area that you at, and weather is like the stuff that happens during the day. You know what I'm talking about, like the rains and the clouds and the.
Bye, have a great time.
For our final guest, we're going to be asking Maddox the same question. Maddox, what is the difference between climate?
Oh, wow, score!
Maddox, what is the difference between climate and weather?
Climate's like the degrees, or like the temperature, and then weather's like rain and stuff.
Good, thank you.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Wow, there's nothing better than ending a good day of running around by sitting around the campfire with your good buddy. We're just gonna have a s'mores burger toast to a wonderful day. So for s'mores burgers, you need the basic s'mores components plus a hamburger bun. I use a stick and Roger uses a machete. You give a good smush. Last but not least, here's the rest of your bun. Wow. That's a really good s'mores burger. Before you go to bed, you eat a couple s'mores burgers that put you right to sleep.
Hey guys, here we are on location in Greensboro, South Carolina. David, a tornado cow. Whatever happened to the cow that was lifted into the air by the tornado?
I don't know, Gavin.
An utter disaster.
Alright, so basically, guys, what you need to know about tornadoes is that they were formed when a cold front and a warm front meet. It results in a counterclockwise vortex which spins and creates a tornado.
Alright, so heavy winds here, guys.
Just remember, guys, when you're in a tornado, remember the word duck. Down under the lowest level, under something sturdy, cover your head and keep it sheltered. Thank you. Hello, this week we will be having a warm front come through. This is when warm air advances into a new area. We will also be having a high pressure system move through. This is when an area experiences higher pressure than normal. Pressure could vary. We will also have, or we will not be experiencing a thermal inversion, which is basically when an area goes from hot weather to cold weather, or vice versa. Tune in next week. Thank you.
avid weather fans. I am Weather Woman Coolio, and today I will be informing everyone about our city of Asheville's air pollution. As you may know, Asheville had some major air pollution problems back in the day, but thanks to tons of new regulations, we have this beautiful blue backsplash against our beautiful mountains. It's so pretty! So beautiful. Now, you may be wondering, what about smog? Well, as ozone is the main culprit of smog, and ozone has been decreasing dramatically in recent years, smog is not really a problem anymore in the Asheville of North Carolina. However, watch out, because global warming could increase ozone and smog exponentially. SMRAP! You may be wondering how you can reduce indoor air pollution in your home, because it is a serious problem. SMRAP! Say no to smoking. Minimize clutter. Remove carpeting. Air condition for the wind. Ventilation on your gas stove. SMRAP! An acronym for your viewing and using pleasure. SMRAP it! Hey guys, the last pollutant I know you've all been waiting for. Lead! Lead dropped below the regulations in 1980 and is currently still in the green. Although Asheville does have high levels of lead in review of 5 drinking water systems. While still researching this problem, companies have taken steps to reduce toxic metals by flushing the systems more often. Also, lead has been found in Asheville High windows, and it's highly dangerous. Stay frosty. Lead not free.
Is that how you say it? Water? Or do I have to say it like American? Water. Water. Hydrate.
Did I hear someone say particulate matter? In Asheville, our particulate matter is moderate. It dropped below the ambient air quality standard in 2007. And now it's time for our special guest. Follow me. Hey, special guest. Welcome to my weather show. Today I'm going to be asking you about a few things about Asheville's weather. Now, how do you think the air quality is in Asheville?
Pretty nice, very breezy.
Have you noticed any problem with our skies?
No, just that they're really pretty in the morning.
Dang right they are. Thank you so much for being our special guest today. What is your name?
Penelope.
Hey, Penelope. Everybody give a special welcome to Penelope. Hey guys, you might have heard of a little thing called carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide can prove to be a problem, so watch out! Just kidding, but it can't kill you. So, anyways, carbon monoxide concentrations have dropped dramatically since the 1970s, and it is now 86% below the limit set by the U.S. National Ambient Air Quality Standards for harmful pollutants. But watch out, because in hotels, there can be a lot of deaths.
Now, something is about to happen that will change all that.
Due to carbon monoxide, there's new regulations coming out soon.
The Twilight Zone.
So, our fourth criteria pollutant is sulfur dioxide. This has been a huge problem for Duke Energy. The Duke Energy plant in Asheville, which is said to be exceeding federally regulated levels, but never fear. But homes downwind of the Asheville plant The concentrations of sulfur dioxide are up to 3.5 times higher than what the EPA have determined safe. So, for not fearing, Duke Energy is taking quick action so this problem has been discovered and has a new climate report including investments of billions of dollars to create a smarter, more efficient and clean plant. Nitrogen dioxide is a good one, folks. It's well below the standards. It's 70% below the 1 hour standard and 86% below the annual standard. So, those are set by the EPA. So we're good to go. Stay frosty. Acid deposition. Rainfall in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park is 5 to 10 times more acidic than normal rain, and clouds covering the mountaintops are 100 times more acidic on average.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Hi, it's me, Guillermo. I'm here in Super Bowl. I guess. I'm gonna go talk to players. Follow me. I'm about to interview the Munko Soon, I think. Hey, Mr. Soon, you look a little bit hungry. I'll make you some scones over here. Go ahead and take one.
I appreciate it, but I'm gonna pass. I'm on a little bit of a diet.
Bill, I make you a present. Look, I know you don't like sleeves, so this is for you. I know it's cold. Look, that's me in the back.
New Jimmy Kimmel Live tonight on ABC.
Hey everybody, I'm Patrick Quagler, and I'm going to talk about climate change. Most people think that climate is changing, and they're right. However, the reason for this increase is not as clear as many people might think. 17 out of the 18 last years since 2001 have been the warmest since weather began being recorded in 1850. And the global temperature has increased almost 2 degrees since 1850, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it made a big difference. Increasing temperature can be due to 2 things, natural or human causes. Natural causes can be volcanoes, forest fires, or variation in solar radiation from the sun. However, the temperature has increased, like I said, almost 2 degrees, exactly 1.8 over the past 175 years. And the variation from increased in the sun is only at 0.5 at most. So that still leaves almost 1.5 degrees unaccounted for. Also, fires and volcanoes have been happening for all of history, so that wouldn't explain why they would suddenly start increasing the temperature. So it has to be something else. Greenhouse gases, however, have been on the rise due to human causes. Greenhouse gases are gases that are released into the atmosphere and trapped, and then they trap in heat from going out, because usually heat comes onto Earth, bounces back up, but with the greenhouse gases they come, bounce back into the shield around the planet. That is the greenhouse gases that keep bouncing in and heats up the Earth. Carbon dioxide and methane gas are 2 of the worst greenhouse gases. This graph shows the increase in temperature over the last 175 years since 1850 when it started being recorded. You can see it goes down a little bit, but then it goes mostly up. And that is due to the increase in greenhouse gases. Even though harmful pollution, there's 6 specific things that the Clean Air Act is focused on eliminating have gone down since it came out in 1970. For the second part of my segment, I will be talking about how we study climate change. You can use the acronym OUS, or OUS. It's like house without the H or the E on it, so it's easy to remember. The O is for observation, U is for understanding, and S is for simulation. Observation is like recording data and taking measurements so that they can help them understand the weather or the climate patterns. And then once they understand it, based on their observation, they can simulate it and help and predict for the future, and that's how they predict weather. Hello, for my third segment, I will be talking about how we can help reduce climate change, or at least the human impact on it. So there are 6 main pollutants that the Clean Air Acts in 1970, 1990 helped reduce, and they were effective in reducing those 6. The 6 main pollutants are carbon monoxide, lead, ozone, particle matter, nitrogen oxide, and sulfur oxide. So, like I said before, we started recording weather only 175 years ago. So it's possible that the Earth is just going through a warm phase, like we had the Ice Age or whatever. So if decreasing the greenhouse gases does not affect the temperature, it's possible it's just a phase the Earth is going through, since we don't have that much recorded data to compare it with. But I still believe it's the greenhouse gases that are increasing temperature.
Joke time with Patrick James Bagger.
You're in luck, because today I have a joke for y'all. What happens when the fog lifts in California? UCLA. Now, come the end of my segment, so I'm sorry I get emotional. Cut the cameras off, BD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now a word from our sponsors.
I'm Coach Rick Sperling for the Asheville Saints, giving you a big invite to come out and be a part of our program. We start off-season workouts Tuesday, Thursday, 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock at ACA's weight room. Looking forward to seeing you there. Go Saints.